Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gander Gardening with Dawn. Today is June the 25th, and I decided to do a little recording in my garden. It's really windy right now, but I thought I would capture a little of the garden because it is going to rain this afternoon, and in fact, we are expecting thunderstorms this afternoon. Here in our front garden, there is a lady's mantle that's in full bloom, and I'll definitely keep an eye on this one. And when the flowers begin to fade, I'll be sure to remove them before they go to seed because that can spread far too much. Right here are some Globe Master alliums, and they're looking really fabulous. And below them are some geranium. These are geranium sanguineum, which, as you can see, is sort of a purpley red flower, and they bloom for most of the summer. Here's a Francis Williams hosta, which I highly recommend, and doesn't seem like the slugs like it that much, so that's good. Right here, down here, is the very first ranunculus that ever bloomed in this garden. And it's actually in a pot, and I put it down there to hide the foliage because foliage looks terrible. But in any case, it's pretty. So although it was in a package labeled Picotee White, and obviously it isn't that. Got a euchera here, larger of the same geranium. Tons of forget-me-nots that are starting to go over. More of the ranunculus that were in that same package labeled Picotee White. Obviously not. And they're not all that great, these ranunculus. So if someone out there has a recommendation for some that I should order for next year, because I am intrigued and I would like to try to grow some. And here we have some daylilies. And now I'm going to back up a bit and show you a bit of our golden chain tree. And you can see it moving around in the wind. And if you look closely, I don't know if it can pick it up on camera, but it's like it's gently snowing with yellow petals, which is sort of sad because it's in absolute full glory right now, but the wind and definitely the thunderstorms, if we get them, will take a toll. And back here, there's a dwarf Alberta spruce that is about, maybe 14 feet tall, so not so dwarf anymore. And never dwarf are these blue angel hostas. They are really, really large, and they are probably, there's two here, and I would think each one is now about 6 feet wide, at least, maybe more. And above that, there's a clematis that is getting ready to bloom, but not quite there yet. And of course, my beloved Rosy Lights azalea, which is starting to fade now, as you see, but still incredibly pretty, underplanted with big root geranium macarazum, I think it's called. And here you can see a better view maybe of our laburnum golden chain, getting a little bit jostled around in this high wind before the thunderstorm. And if we come down around here, this is a relatively new flower bed that I started about 5 years ago, and it's doing pretty well. If we get really close here, you can see some of the Mount Everest alliums, and lots of Barlow mix columbine. Lots of other alliums, the purple sensation, which are going over. We have some of the blue poppy. This one is the baileyi that are just starting to open, just one each on these. Back here is the alba type, which of course has the white flowers. Expecting a lot more blooms from those. And down here we have the other blue poppy. This one is fertile blue. And oh my gosh, I just love this one. We have foxglove here that's starting to wilt a little bit because it's really hot right now before the thunderstorm. More alliums. And here's a peony that's starting to get a lot larger. Looking forward to seeing this one. Another foxglove there, not quite as far along. Some phlox, some rose campion, and here, and pardon the plane going over, here we have a Chantilly light salmon snapdragon. This is the first time I've grown these, and I just love this color. And there's a group of them here, and I have more planted along. Here's a David phlox for later. There is a crimson bedder nicotiana, also wilted because of the heat. And just look at the climbing hydrangea. It's just starting to pop open a few blooms. This thing is going to be fabulous. And when you walk through the archway with the climbing hydrangea, where we have a hedge really of goat's beard. These have been here for quite a while, and they've gotten really large, and they're not quite in bloom yet, but they're getting there. And they go all the way around the corner, and this one is really looking fabulous right in the corner, but again, not quite in bloom. Here's an ostrich fern next to some annual schizanthus, and next to those are some really great lupins that are also wilted a little in the heat right now. This little corner of my garden is about to lose the sun, and I have some begonias here planted in front of some Alexander's Great Brennera, and a few more schizanthus. In our back garden, we have a lot of large trees which provide some shade, so the plants back here, they don't tend to wilt like the ones that are living out in the front. And you can see here that the same purple sensation are still in full bloom, these alliums, because everything is a little bit behind here because of the shade. A couple of seedlings of goat's beard that popped up on their own, and I haven't decided if I'm going to let them stay or not. And down here we have some lobelia planted around some cat's pajamas nepeta, another one of the Francis William hostas, and another, I'm not sure the name of that one, hosta in the background. And this entire area here is underplanted with the big root geranium, which is not the prettiest geranium by any stretch, but it's a really tough one and can grow here at the base of these large trees. If you're looking for a native plant, native to North America, that a woodland plant that doesn't mind some shade and won't spread aggressively, but will form a really nice ground cover, Consider tiarella. This has been in bloom for many, many weeks. And although it is starting to fade, it's still looking very pretty and blends in with anything because of its very soft, white, fluffy flowers. I don't see it very often around in gardens, but I do think it's absolutely lovely.